This is one of my very favorite recipes of all time. I developed this many years ago when I was working at the Ojai Valley Inn. I started as a pastry chef and worked my way all the way up. There's a lot of recipes that I've made over the years that I've refined and some that I've completely changed. This one I made because it has shelf life. Now, if you know anything about a commercial kitchen, they don't like to waste anything, and they also need to keep things for a long period of time in the walk-in, which is a giant refrigerator. That's the only way to explain it. It could be as big as a kitchen room. And these walk-ins held all our garde marché, which is green garden grocery, basically French for where we stored all our refrigerated things. We also had freezers and everything else there also. That we had a huge staff of 380 some odd people. And let me tell you, it was a test every single day. But I loved it. I worked 7 days a week, and I really enjoyed working there until I was just so tired. I needed a day off, and I just finally quit and opened another restaurant. Stupid! Why would I do that? But I did it anyway. I really enjoyed the world of food. I still do, and I love to cook. I love to cook for family and friends. It's my way of showing love to people. But it's also because I'm a foodie, and I don't ever cheat on quality. I will go the ends of the earth to find the best quality food I can find. Amazon, anybody. I mean, foie gras, ship it away. I mean, but I'm really picky about what I eat. Now, this recipe, like I said, is one of my very favorites. Can be in the old days when they first made this recipe up. This is original, but when they first made this up, they used bits and pieces. Now, I gotta admit the way I made this one. These are old croissants. Okay, for the average American, croissant, okay, but croissant to the rest of us. These are croissants that have been torn up in pieces. You don't want to cut them up because when you cut bread, even with a serrated knife, it just compresses the bread and you don't taste the full richness of that piece of bread. So I took croissants and also a package of hamburger buns and a package of hot dog buns. I cut them all up and I threw them all together in this big bowl with half and half, full cream, and a lot of eggs. And I put in pumpkin puree for pumpkin, and brown sugar, vanilla, kosher salt, nutmeg, and cinnamon. I also made a sauce to go with it. This is maple syrup, cream, and butter. It's a crème anglaise, and this will go over the top of it. So the way I like to serve this is warm. So after a big dinner, especially when you overfeed your guests, when they're overfed and overdrunk, you whip this out and guaranteed they'll all come back to life. It's easy to make. You make this mixture completely in a big bowl and you use your hands. Don't use like a big spoon or anything. Use your hands so you can feel the food. And then put it in a great big greased or a small, in this case, 9 by 13 pan like this that probably weighs about 6 pounds, like a small preemie. And you threw it in there, a greased pan, and then you heat it up when you go to serve it. And then you go to put the crème anglaise on top. Now, who would not eat this, right? Even I would eat this. But I love this recipe because this recipe is so versatile. You can use any kind of bread you've got left in the house. And it just mixed together. If you want to not use pumpkin, I used pumpkin this time because I wanted to pair it with the maple syrup. But if you didn't want to use the pumpkin, you don't have to. But there's the ice maker. Even that's working today. But you can pair it up with different flavors. You can put in chocolate chips. You can put in raisins, like Rich said. You can put in different kinds of nuts. I think I put almonds in this one. But if you look at it closely, Rich, I don't know if you can see the different layers in here. You can see the different layers of the different kinds of bread. You can see the hot dog buns, no hot dogs. But you can also see the croissant and the nut the nuts that are in here too. I candied some nuts. You don't have to candy them, but you can if you want to. Like I said, this is probably one of my favorite desserts. This was one of our best sellers, and the best part about this, if you cover this up with a piece of saran wrap, stick it in a refrigerator, it will last for a month, and I'm not kidding. So that's why we used it in the restaurant, because we would have to have something that had a long shelf life in order to serve it. All you have to do is nuke it at the very end so it's a little bit steamy and pour on the sauce, and you're ready to go. So again, pumpkin bread pudding with a maple syrup crema anglaise. This is probably yummy. This is something you want to make. And this is one of my very favorite desserts of all time. So, manja!